Hello everybody and welcome to Not So Hollywood Cinema, the show in which I talk about movies and wonder why I don't have any friends. I am your host, ThatKidDouglas, aka the Young Hero, the internet's loneliest D-list personality. And this is an impromptu episode of Not So Hollywood Cinema. This was not planned, by the way. I have two more episodes that I've planned out and that are coming soon, don't worry, but I feel like I need to talk about this because this is probably one of the most insanely idiotic things that I've heard all year, and even though I like this particular person, I gotta call bullshit when I see bullshit. So which person am I talking about? Well, of course, it's Grace Randloph from Beyond the Trailer. Yes, she's back in the news once again. And why is she back in the news? Well, she posted a video talking about Doctor Strange and Inception, and you're thinking, what the hell does Doctor Strange and Inception have to do with each other? Well, she tried to claim that Doctor Strange, which comes out on November 4th, which looks really good and I'm really looking forward to seeing it, is ripping off Inception. Yes, Christopher Nolan's Inception. And why, you may ask? Why does she think that Doctor Strange is ripping off Inception? Well, I'm going to tell you why. It's because of this. Oh yes, my friends, and her reasoning is just as stupid as you think it is. It's because both posters look very similar to one another. If we're going by that logic that Doctor Strange is ripping off Inception because both posters look similar, then we might as well say that every movie in existence is ripping each other off, because most movie posters these days look exactly the same. Are we going to say Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising is ripping off Captain America Civil War because they have the exact same poster? Are we going to say the thousands of posters that have the characters' back turns looking at something ominous in front of them are ripoffs? Are we going to say that Disney is ripping off DreamWorks Animation because they have dozens of posters where the characters are smirking, and the movie poster for Zootopia and the Blu-ray cover has one of the main characters, Nick Wilde, smirking? Are we going to say that? No. Why? Because it's dumb. It's utterly moronic. Listen, not only do most movie posters look the same, but movies aren't entirely original. Even the ones that are original are not entirely original. Movies in general borrow and copy elements from one another all the time. It's not some kind of new thing. It's not some kind of shocking thing either. And she has no other evidence to prove that Doctor Strange is ripping off Inception other than the fact that the posters look similar. That's what she bases the crux of her entire argument on, is because both posters look similar. Even going so far to essentially slander the director, Scott Derrickson, essentially saying that he's a hack because he said the movie was going to be unlike anything we've ever seen, yet the poster looks similar to Inception. And apparently, if the poster looks similar, then that must mean that Doctor Strange is ripping off Inception, right? It must mean that Marvel is completely uncreative and are lacking ideas, right? But all you have to prove your evidence, all you have to back up your claims is the fact that both of the posters look similar. Look, Grace, I mean, you're already known as the crazy woman because of the whole Batman v Superman debacle, and how you went after people that dare to even criticize the film, saying that they had an anti-DC bias and they were being paid off by Marvel and Disney, and the whole cowardly attempt that you made at trying to go after John Campea. You're not really doing anything to disprove that reputation, because this is just bonkers. This is absolutely bonkers, and this whole ripoff controversy or non-controversy really has no validity. It has no grounds to stand on. And I just love how you try to say that it's Scott Derrickson's fault because the posters look similar, so that must mean he's a hack, right? That must mean he's ripping off Christopher Nolan's work, right? Despite the fact that he did not have a say in how the poster would look. You do realize that most directors have absolutely no say in how the posters look. More likely than not, it was the marketing department down at Disney that decided what the poster was going to look like. It wasn't him. And the fact that you would try to say that he's a hack and slander him just based on a fucking poster is utterly ridiculous. And look, you're a well-respected film critic. People take you seriously. Stuff like this makes people take you less seriously. It makes people think you look like a crazy person, you know? And it's just a poster. And it gets even better, too. It gets even better. She tries to say the reason people aren't talking about this is because they're a bunch of biased Marvel fanboys that just hate DC, that just hate Christopher Nolan. And it's also because critics are somehow scared of Disney and scared of losing access if they speak out against it. No. People aren't speaking about this not because they're biased Marvel fanboys. It's not because critics are scared of Disney and losing access to their properties if they speak out against it. No. They're not talking about it because it's a non-issue. And the reason I say it's a non-issue is because it's an issue that you're desperately trying to make an issue. It's opportunistic bullshit. That's what it is. You're desperately trying to stir up controversy for the sake of controversy. And your claims, your rip-off claims, have no ground. They have no merit to stand on. All you're basing it on is a fucking poster. Because, Doctor Strange apparently is ripping off Inception, right? Okay, listen. Other than the fact that the posters look similar, and other than the fact that they both have trippy, mind-bending visuals, Doctor Strange and Inception are both completely different. Doctor Strange is about realms, sorcerers, and alternate dimensions. Inception is about dreams. They're not in any way similar other than a few elements, yet you're trying to make it seem like the entire movie is ripping off Inception. What disappoints me the most is the fact that you're a film critic, so you know better, you're well respected in the industry, yet you're just making up claims without any strong evidence to back it up. You're just making shit up just to purposely incite a flame war between comic book fanboys, because regardless of which side it is, whether it's Marvel or DC, you know that if you're critical of either side, you very well know that fanboys are gonna flame each other in the comments and just go after one another, and it's gonna get you more views, it's gonna get you more attention, it's gonna get your name out there. And conveniently, this is around the time that Doctor Strange is set to come out. It comes out on November 4th, so it's really, really close to being released. So, to me, it just screams as opportunistic to me. And as a film critic, if you're going to accuse a company of ripping off another person's style, ripping off an entire movie, then you better make sure that you have strong evidence to back it up. Because if you don't, and all you base it on is promotional material, i.e. a poster, you look like a fucking moron. You look like an idiot, and nobody's going to take you seriously. I like Grace Randloph. I like Beyond the Trailer, but I'm not just because I like her. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna say this is completely idiotic. I mean, because it is idiotic. It's absolutely idiotic. And she needs to be called out on this because it's absolute bullshit. It's absolute bullshit that has no merit, and it has no evidence. Absolutely no evidence. And I know some people are going to say, oh, she's doing this because she has an anti-Marvel bias. And while I don't think that's the reason, if you honestly think that way, I can't blame you. I really can't blame you, because her doing something like this makes it seem like that she has an anti-Marvel bias. And while I personally don't think that she does, stuff like this isn't exactly helping that case. It really isn't. And this is just idiotic. I'm even disappointed in myself that I wasted time to even talk about this controversy. But I feel the need to talk about it because it's important. Because when somebody like this is spreading misinformation and trying to mislead people into thinking that another movie is ripping off another movie without any sort of solid evidence, I have to speak about it. I have to talk about it, and I have to call it out because it's utter bullshit. And if you and Grace, by the way, if you want people to take you seriously, don't do shit like this. Don't deliberately make shit up. Don't slander people. And don't base the crux of your argument off a poster, And if you're going to do something like this next time, if you're going to accuse someone of something serious as plagiarism, then you better damn sure that you have evidence to back that up. Because if you don't, you're gonna look like a crazy person. You're gonna look like a moron. And trust me, you don't want to look like a moron. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. This is ThatKidDouglas, aka the Unhero, signing out. Deuces, stay frosty and keep it mirror. Remember, stay frosty and keep it weird.